Again, we're Golgari Beatdown, so let's beat them down. They don't have 5 points of damage to kill Hunted Nightmare, and it is Menace, so thankfully you gotta go all in on it if you want to go in on it at all. Is that really? It's still okay. They can't make up their mind. They're gonna end up with the same original block they had. No? Yeah, I don't know what you want to do here. Oh man, that was a joy to see, in the very least. What's up everybody, my name's Chance and today we're going to be playing a Golgari Beatdown deck, and this deck I'm actually very excited for. The inspiration came from Rotting Regisaur plus Hunted Nightmare. I got to thinking, you know, Rotting is great, but you have those games where you're like, man, I wish I'd hit Rotting on turn 3, which is, you know, most of the games that you're playing Rotting Regisaur. And so I got to thinking, is Hunted Nightmare actually as good a value as Rotting Regisaur? Like, can you play this card and hit it when you're not hitting your Rotting Regisaurs and feel good about it? Lo and behold, I think, yeah, this deck is it's very strong. We ended up going 6-1 with it, so just right there is a testament to how good it performs. It does a lot of fun stuff, right? You get to still get that big top end Auspicious Starrix mutate ability off, which is fun to get down a whole lot of permanents and all that. And you get to play Rotting Regisaur, so that's nice, right? You get to play everything fun in green and black mana with almost zero drawback. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this deck tech or deck breakdown. And I would like to remind everybody, if you're looking for the most amount of information on a deck, please be sure to watch all the way through as I do the pro tips throughout the middle, and then there at the end we do a deck tech wrap up to let y'all know any cards that I would put in potentially for other cards, or different lines of plays you can do, all that great stuff. So again, make sure you're watching all the way through to get the most info. Anyways, on into what we're actually playing today. We have 3 copies of Gutter Bones here, and Gutter Bones is actually really key. One, it's a card that can come back into your hand and can be mutated onto, however many times it really requires you to win the game. 2, it's a nice little body for 1 mana, right? 1 mana, 2/1. You can swing in with it, not feel bad, because you do have that chance of bringing it back. And then it also buffs our next creature, Pelt Collector. We have 3 of. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, if that creature's power is greater than Pelt Collector's, put a +1/+1 counter on Pelt Collector. Well, obviously, Paradise Druid, Gutter Bones, those are nice because they do buff up the Pelt Collector when they first come in. However, they won't buff them on the way out. But things like Rotting Regisaur, Hunted Nightmare, Gemrazer, Dirge Bat, you see where I'm going here. All of the rest of these will buff up the Pelt Collector on entrance and on exit. And then Stonecoil Serpent, it really kind of depends on, how much mana you're putting into it. But then once Pelt Collector has 3 or more, it gets trample, so works really nice with works really nicely with ram through, as well as being able to mutate onto it, and then you mutate a Starrix onto it. Now you have a 6/6 with trample, and it's kind of nice. So that's all around solid card if you see people playing Pelt Collector. For those of you that are newer, that is why. Movement is down, we have Kai's Ghostform, and this card is growing kind of near and dear to my heart with all these mutate decks that I've been playing, or even splash mutate. It's really nice, one, because it works on death and on exile abilities, right? So your opponent can't just exile and get around whatever, enchantment or whatever shenanigans. If I can get all the way through this smoothly, I'll be very happy. I'm very tired. It's at the end of my day here. We did yard work today. I did the podcast today. I did a lot of stuff. Okay, so we'll get there. Guys, Ghostform, it's fantastic. I don't recommend running any more than 2 of it. 2's perfectly fine, and it'll show up enough to save you in those games. Stonecoil Serpent, reach, trample, protection for multicolor. Whenever it enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. It's fantastic. It's a great card to mutate onto with your Dirge Bat or Gemrazer or Starrix or really any mutate creatures, since it gets X +1/+1 counters, and obviously those counters sort of carry over to the mutate creature, right? Aside from that, it has protection from Teferi, which is nice, and a lot of things like, hell, I can't think of them right now. Dream Trawler, right? It has protection from Dream Trawler while still being able to block against it. So, there you go. Anyways, moving us along, we have 4 copies of Paradise Druid. It works great with the Pelt Collector, as already mentioned, and it works great with the rest of the deck, as it allows you to ramp into the rest of the deck, right? It allows you to get to your Dirge Bat, your Gemrazer, your Starrix, your Great Henge, all the more consistently. And, well, let's be honest, when you're going for a beatdown deck, you need that consistency. So, speaking of consistency, we have 2 copies of Agonizing Remorse to help you keep that consistency. But looking at your opponent's hand, or if you absolutely need to, looking at their graveyard and exiling a card from it, you do lose 1 life, but you're getting so much value out of it, it's almost always worth it. Moving us down to Value Town, I don't know. We have Ram Through. It's a 2-mana instant speed. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. So, whole lot of text, but basically it just means that if we have trample on Rotting Regisaur and he goes to kill somebody with Ram Through, all the extra damage is going to that person's face, which is fantastic, right? And we'll get on into that later. But it is nice whenever the Gemrazer is mutated onto Regisaur and then it has trample and you can just sort of ram through everything, right? And I think there's something to be said about ram through and trample and all that shenanigans, but that'll be at the end of the video in the deck wrap up, so watch all the way through. Rotting Regisaur is our next card. We have it as a 3 of, and you say, Chance, why do you not have this as a 4 of? Well, honestly, I get a little bit destructive with Rotting Regisaur. It's one of those cards I can't help but play down, and well, discarding a card can be very detrimental if you're doing it too often, if that makes sense. Plus, the main focus of this deck, yes, we wanted to try Rotting Regisaur, but we all know Rotting Regisaur is a body. I really was interested in the Hunt Nightmare to see if it filled in the same slot, and, well, the best way to do that is play each equally and hope that you have games where you draw one and hope that you have games where you draw the other, and then you can, you know, A-B split test for a little while. Which brings me, you know, of course, to the next card. Hunt Nightmare is the 3-mana with Menace. Now, whenever this enters the battlefield, it does put a, excuse me, a Death Touch counter on, it allows your opponent to put a Death Touch counter on a creature they control. So they do get to select it, you don't get to select it, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is a 3-mana 4/5 with Menace, so it's a body and it's hard to block. And from what I've seen, it's really, really good. 4/5 with Menace is nothing to joke about. Leyline Prowler is kind of a last minute add-in. I had Revenge of Ravens. I got to thinking about it. I think I'd rather have Leyline Prowler. It's great for the mutate ability. It has lifelink, it has Death Touch. So for the ram through, it's able to, you know, use that Death Touch. I believe. I could be wrong. Anyways, so Leyline Prowler, I recommend it still. Then we're moving on into our mutate creatures, or a mutate section right here. We have Dirge Bat, which allows you to destroy target creature or planeswalker whenever it mutates. You have Gemrazer, which allows you to destroy target artifact or enchantment when it mutates. And then Auspicious Starrix, which allows you to exile cards from the top of your library until you exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times that that creature has mutated. And then you get to put those permanents onto the battlefield. So again, you're getting that big payoff with the Starrix in the end. And, you know, not having to overcommit to mutate while also having a great bottom end. And then last but not least, we can't leave it out. We do have 3 copies of the Great Henge. Gonna allow you to gain life, gonna allow you to put counters on your creatures, gonna allow you to draw cards off of playing your creatures. It's everything you want in Golgari. It's everything you want in every beatdown sort of deck. Everything I want, at least. Anyways, that's going to do it for the deck tech or deck breakdown. Without further ado, everybody, we're going to go and hop right into our Alex, but not Alex, you know, with an X. It's a CKS. Not going to lie, this is a very costly hand for what you generally want to see with this deck. So we're going to mulligan it. That's better. Don't want to put back the Great Henge, but at the same time, you know, choices have to be made. Now, the real question is, am I going for the Fabled Passage on turn 2 to ensure the Gemrazer on turn 3? Or am I just going for this, and then I can Gemrazer into the Stonecoil? Well, now we now we also have a Paradise Druid in the mix, and that just makes things even trickier. Or easier, I guess, because we can shock in the Overgrown. We don't even need to shock in the Overgrown. We'll just play down the Paradise Druid, give our Pelt Collector a little boost, get right into it. And this deck does play very similarly to the mono green deck that made, you know, top list or whatever. Alright, so they're gonna be taking the Pelt Collector. But you wanna know something kinda nice about this deck? Kinda rather actually pretty sweet if I do. Whoa. Let's make sure this taps how I want it to, because y'all know Magic. Over. And ba-bam! Pelt Collector. Back on the board. Now the question is, do we get in with the 4/4? I think so. Again, this is a beatdown deck, so... You know, is it a beatdown deck if you're not beating them down? Probably not. They're taking my Gemrazer, you bastard. I guess that's the risk of... See beatdown, play beatdown. That's alright though. Grab some more land out here. I think we are just going... Well, maybe. I think we are just going for a Paradise Druid, and then we can go for a really big Stonecoil come next turn. We got him down to 10 though, so not doing too shabby. Cetessan Champion. It's a Bont enchantment deck actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can get down to 6/6 Stonecoil, or we can get down to 7/6 Rotting. I'd rather get down the Stonecoil and then Rotting when we have nothing in hand, right? So I am correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, indeed. So we're taking them down to 7. We're looking all right. Cetessan can always ramp very hard. We've all seen that. So, you know, here's hoping for the best. Cetessan training. All right. Well, that's not too scary, right? Our Pelt Collector is going up to a 4/4 with Trample. We have a Stonecoil. We're getting down Rotting Regisaur, and we're also throwing Kaya's Ghostform onto the Pelt Collector. I mean, I guess you could also throw it onto the Rotting Regisaur, but I know I'm swinging in this turn. I don't know what they have. I am swinging all in because we have the Trample. We have 10 points of Trample damage, so everything else is just kind of clean up. Yeah, there we go. Picking up a game 1 up against Alex with Golgari Beatdown. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Rico, gonna be our next foe. Well, I'm not gonna say no to it. Alrighty. Guys, Ghostform on a Rotting Regisaur, sign me up. Sign me up. That's it's actually fantastic. So we're up against Orzhov. They could have board wipe. Singing Cruel Celebrant, I think they have board wipe. So we go for the Rotting Regisaur and immediately hit it with the Kaya's Ghostform. Next turn we discard a land, we got our other Rotting Regisaur down, we're looking at 14 points of damage on the board. It's a Goth Mamba, ooh, an Orzhov Mutate deck. I like it. We'll discard the Swamp because I want the Temple of Malady. Another Paradise Druid. I don't want another Paradise Druid. I do enjoy the Agonizing Remorse. Almost to the point where I want to go ahead and Agonizing Remorse here. Take a peek-see into their hand and see if we can get something. Yeah, we're going to go ahead. Ooh. Well, we want to get rid of that Cub Warden because that just gives them tons of creatures to block with. The Dirge Bat isn't good either. We're getting rid of the Cub Warden. Then we'll swing in with the Rotting Regisaur. They will probably chum block. They do indeed. Fantastic. So the unfortunate thing is the Necropanther is going to be able to get back their Mamba here if they want to put it down. Which I don't see why they wouldn't, right? It gives them a 3/3. Well, then again, I have a 7/6 swinging in. Of course, since we didn't play that Rotting Regisaur, now we just have to discard it. Choices, choices. And also, they didn't mutate the Necropanther. I guess they wanted it as a defender. Alright, so you swing in with the Rotting, see if they take the damage. They do, unfortunate for us. I am going to go ahead and play this down. I know it gives one of their creatures Death Touch, but we do have Kaya's Ghostform on the Rotting Regisaur, so that's good. They definitely should put it on the Cruel Celebrant. No, Necropanther. That's... I guess they value their Cruel Celebrant more. They still don't have the double black mana for the Dirge Bat. Does Dirge Bat? It does. Okay, so that's good for us. But yeah, they can Necropanther and get back at the Zagoth Mamba. I don't know what's up with my words this morning, but they can Necropanther plus Cruel Celebrant, so that's good news. You know, good news, bad news kind of thing here. Ooh. We got a Dirge Bat of our own. Interesting. Interesting. Again, we're Golgari Beatdown, so let's beat them down. They don't have 5 points of damage to kill Hunted Nightmare, and it is Menace, so thankfully you gotta go all in on it if you want to go in on it at all. Is that really? He is still okay. They can't make up their mind. They're gonna end up with the same original block they had. No? Yeah, I don't know what you want to do here. Oh man, that was a joy to see, in the very least. You could tell they just started absolutely panicking. So, missed the start, Twitch issues. So, reducing creature cost does the effect creature cost X. What? Hold up. Give me just a second. Satiable Hemiphage coming down on their Zagoth Mamba. And I have this weird... Maybe get that fixed. There we go. My, like, bottom taskbar was, like, over the Magic Arena area. Anyways, they're -2ing on my Hunted Nightmare. That's it. I have another Death Toucher, and I don't have another Kaya's Ghostform, but I do have a Batra. Flash this baby in. Ram through. We don't have anything with Trample, unfortunately, but, you know, Ram through does still allow us to do this number, which is cool. You know, cool beans. Cool beans. So again, Golgari Beatdown, getting in there. Messing them up, doing the stuff. Getting in for 7, they're down to 6. My dogs are barking, literally. I'm not talking about my feet. I know that is sometimes what is said. Anyways, we're picking up the victory up against Rico, and we're 2-0. It feels good. Guimarmit? I don't know. I'm not good with this stuff. Y'all know that. We'll keep the hand though. We can go for like a turn 2. Ooh, okay, chill out. We can go for like a turn 2 Stonecoil into a turn 3 Gemrazer maybe. We are gonna need Forest here for this. Ooh. Now I have the Hunted Nightmare that just presents itself, which is beautiful, honestly, when your opponent, like, doesn't have anything on the board, right? So I think I am going to go ahead and throw this down for 2. We'll hope they don't have a Disfigure. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that exists. But since they don't have any creatures and it's turn 3, we're getting down to Hunted Nightmare for free. So that always feels good. Now, before we really do anything else, I want to get in with the Hunted Nightmare, or, you know, see if they're going to remove it, whatever. They are playing mono black, so, you know, Murderous Riders, murder in general. Okay, Murderous Rider it is. You really got your whole pick there. Let's go for the Paradise Druid, because you can do a cool little combo of putting Gemrazer onto the Paradise Druid and then using Ram through, right? Rankle. Oh shit. Alright, well, let's see what they make us do. Okay. Cool beans. I'll take a card draw. 2 Gutter Bones. How do I feel about that? Not quite sure. Literally just getting this card down, though, makes it to where we can block against the Rankle, and this card has block. So yeah, I think we're going mutate over, of course, and then we're saving the 2 mana for the Ram through, right? Like, the idea of getting down to Gutter Bones is nice, because then it means next turn, well, next turn they still wouldn't be able to swing in because of Rankle, right? So this is fun, I think. This is fun. Of course, I do just use Ram through next turn and then Gutter Bones again. I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. Mono black, though. I haven't seen this in a while. I'm kind of curious as to what they're playing. So we'll resolve this. Sure. I love it when people forget about, you know what? Yeah. Love it when people forget about reach. There you go. Nice. We got rid of both their creatures. They do have 2 mana, so if they have removal, I was about to say we might bite it here. I could get down the Starrix. I'd rather mutate it onto the Hexproof. So instead, we'll play down a Gutter Bones. We'll play down a Rotting Regisaur. Come next turn, we can discard this Gutter Bones, so we're not losing our Auspicious Starrix. And I don't think we go in for the 4 damage. It's only 4 damage. We have a 7/6 and a 2/1 on the board that we don't mind losing too much. Ritual of Soot, that feels bad. This is 6. We have 6 mana. Shut up, phone. We have 6 mana. Is it worth it? I mean, sure. Let's go bonkers. Let's go nuts. I don't know if this was actually worth it. Sure. As soon as I saw the Stonecoil, I was like, no! But the land allowed us to get down the Gutter Bone, so that's nice. Murderous Rider, you know, there's always that chance. Probably should have played a little bit more defensively, but that's alright. We're getting down a Hunted Nightmare. They're still not, they don't have any creatures on the board, you know, so we're capitalizing. We're capitalizing. And we got the other Gutter Bones back into our hands, so you know there's that as well. Oh, Murderous Rider alone can't stop our Hunted Nightmare, but I guess those 2 combined are enough to. Alright, so we throw Kai's Ghostform down there, we throw down our other Gutter Bones, and then we go ham. And you do swing in with both because they either defend the Gutter Bones and don't defend the Hunted Nightmare, or they defend both onto Hunted Nightmare. Either which way, it's perfectly fine because now we just get Gutter Bones right back into our hand, and we have another one come next turn, right? Ooh, unless... No, they drew the card. They drew the card, wow. And they're swinging all in. What is going on? Are you about to board wipe us? Is that what's about to happen? Ritual, so it is indeed. Well, thankfully, we're going to get our Hunted Nightmare back. Unfortunately, they do have a creature this time that actually gets the Death Touch counter. Your Rock Spinlurker. No, my Gutter Bones. Baby, come back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ram through. Well, I couldn't have asked for a better card draw myself. Now, they might sacrifice Dread Presence here to, like, reduce the amount of damage they're going to take from Hunted Nightmare. Yeah, so maybe I should have done that first, right? Right. Alright, well, we can go ahead and pay to get Gutter Bones back and throw Gutter Bones down. Are swinging in because again it's 2 damage. Let me mute my phone real quick. we go. Cool beans. So we're at 8. Our opponent's at 5. Are you gonna sacrifice the Fin Lurker to get rid of the Gutter Bones? All right. You're just a maniac. You're just paying all the life. Oh, okay, you got me. You got me there. Oh, we just gotta play you down. Unfortunately, would have been a great way to remove the top merit had we been able to mutate it. You leave my Gemrazer alone, okay? I see them. They're like calculating, is it worth swinging all in or whatever. Just leave it alone. Chill. Or are they wondering if they can sacrifice things to get it out of there? They're going to attack. We'll take the 5 damage. We're at 3, they're at 3. What a wonderful life. Damn it. Alright, GG. We bricked. We bricked it hard. That's okay though, 2-1, and I don't feel like we lost this game too hard. We took the bad play of mutating a Starrix down onto a Paradise Druid, right, and tapping it out. We got greedy. We got greedy and we paid for it. Anyways, our Vanian gonna be our next foe. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Double Hunted Nightmares could be very, very spicy, so we'll keep it in high hopes, in very, very high hopes. Okay, all right. You go Gutterbones here. You go Temple of Malady next turn. I know it's Malady. It's just fun, you know. Some people get on to me for having fun. Don't enjoy that. Temple of Malady, whatever you want to call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll keep it. I want the Auspicious Starrix. I'm a fan of the Starrix. Now, if our opponent can knock it down another creature this turn, that would be beautiful. Because then I can play my 100 Nightmare for the Freesky. No, it's actually really bad because it's it's a Vigilance deck. Oh no. Well, you know what? I'm all in. Whatever. You want to have Vigilance creatures? You want to have Death Touch on them? You have Death Touch on them. We'll figure it out. Well, that's not great. That's not a great... It's not a great thing that happened there. Fortunately, they won't swing in with the alert Heed Bonder. Heed Bonder, is it? Yeah, Heed Bonder. Yeah, we might have just got a bad matchup here, / shouldn't have played the 100 Nightmares at all. So we could flash in the Batra, knowing now what we're up against, so... Yikes, am I right? We're at 4, that puts us at 5. I mean, we can't go wrong by playing another one, right? What do? Put Death Touch on the Grazer? It doesn't have any attack. And double Death Touch doesn't do anything, so... Okay, they do put Death Touch on the Grazer. You're a wily coyote, Arvanian. Fronland Freladar. You swing in, I will double block. I'll pay the price for my mistakes. Do it. Hit me with your best shot. Or don't. Really would have loved some ramp in this game. I feel like that'd have helped a lot. That's okay though. We can hit the Great Henge. We can do the Great Henge. I think we should. I say we go for it. You don't turn down an opportunity such as this one, right? Then you also get down to Pelt Collector, so like you're gaining back the 2 life you spent. You're getting to draw a card. It gets a counter on it. Hey, there's the ramp I was asking for. I don't really need it now, but it you know, it's nice to see that it's there when I want it. Now the Dirge Bat. Oh, okay, a Questing Beast. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we not appreciate? Questing Beast, baby. Questing Beast. So how are we blocking this? How are we doing this shenanigans? No. Okay. Gutterbones, you go there. I think we just take the rest of the damage. But Gutterbones, you know, we can always get it back. You hate seeing a Vigilance tribal that you gave Death Touch to. I know, completely my fault. What was I thinking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 mana. We can Dirge Bat. We can Dirge Bat this thing, get rid of their Death Touch. That would be nice. We can Dirge Bat this thing, or this thing. I think I do want to Dirge Bat for sure before the Starrix, though, right? We can flash that in though, so do I need to do it right now? I mean, yeah, sure, actually. Let's go you. Okay. That doesn't actually allow us to do anything though. You. On a Pelt Collector, yeah. Over. Because we want our Hunted Nightmare is a solid body in its own right. We got to take out her because if they remove my creatures with that shit, I'm gonna be a little salty, not gonna lie. Now, are we swinging in with the Batra? I think so, because we're not defending with it. The Hunted Nightmare, I don't mind defending against the Questing Beast so much as it is on the ground, but our Batra is not, so we'll swing in. I was about to say, the Grazer has Death Touch, but it doesn't have any damage to deal, so it's not touching your creature, you know, so to speak, I guess. Anyways, are they going to be tapping out our creatures here to just deal straight damage? It looks that way. Are we giving up our Pelt Collector to the Fronland to keep us from taking 7 points of damage? Nah. Hit me in the face. I don't care. Now, they may be saving their mana in order to tap some of our creatures come our turn, right? So we Starrix first. By the way, sorry if y'all can hear the oven timer going off. It's time for the Starrix. We are killing the Fronland Felidar, because if we do that, then Hunted Nightmare can block the Questing Beast without all that tappery stuff. Another Hunted Nightmare. Well, they already have Death Touch on all their creatures, so I don't see a downside. Right? You got Death Touch everywhere, it doesn't matter. Arvanian, we're picking up the victory. We're 3-1 with this Golgari Beatdown Mutate deck. I don't even know what to say about it. It's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. Give me that, yes. Claimeth the prize. Anyways, Niffle Flex? Niffle Fleeks. I don't know, you got me. I love the cards. I don't love the lands. I'm gonna keep it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now we just keep our fingers crossed they don't have a shock in hand, right? Ember Hall. What does it deal? 2 damage, right? I can use Ram Through to kill the Gingerbrute come our next turn if I just play it down, use that. But then they still kill my Pelt Collector with Ember Hauler, or I get down Gutter Bones. Alternative is killing this here, getting down Gutter Bones next turn, them getting in with Ember Hauler. But we are getting rid of Gingerbrute immediately. But they're gonna kill our Pelt Collector, but it's gonna cost them a mana. All right, we leave Gingerbrute. So we also have the Gemrazer, which we can get down and do that good stuff. So, here, are we going for the Ram Through kill on the Gingerbrute? Are we waiting on Ram Through to deal a little bit of damage and get something out of the way? Are we just buffing the Pelt Collector? I didn't attack there. I clicked too fast and I realized it a half second too late. Cool beans, claim the firstborn. But do you have a way to actually sack the Pelt Collector? Are you about to sack the Ember Hauler to kill the Pelt Collector? No? Maybe they're waiting for here. We actually don't have the mana to get the Gemrazer down yet. I could go for another Gutter Bones plus a Ram Through. I could just go for a Ram Through, but as soon as I do that, they use Ember Hauler. Go for a 3/3 Stonecoil Serpent. I think that's what we go for. As soon as we go for this, they kill Pelt Collector. Right? No. Now they kill. You're a madman. You're an absolute madman. Alright, well let's go for the swing in. What are you doing with your Ember Hauler if you're not killing my valuable creatures? What are you doing? Alright, well. Come next turn, we ought to get another green mana out, and then we can get the Gemrazer down plus another Gutter Bones. And oftentimes in these beatdown decks, you'll find like, yes, you have the removal, but like it may not be the best time and place for it. You know, that Annex, that's going to be the best time and place for it. So absolutely casting the Ram Through this turn. I'll have 2 mana left over after that. Here. They'll get 2 tokens, which is super unfortunate for us, but those tokens can't defend, which is super beneficial for us. And now I decide, do I want a 2/2 Stonecoil or do I want another Gutter Bones? I think I'd rather have another Gutter Bones, given the 2/2s get removed from the Ember Hauler, right? They do have 3 points of damage, but at the same time, we're also lower on health, so I should be careful about that, I suppose. We gotta get there somehow. So let's swing in. If they decide to use their Ember Hauler plus Gingerbrute to remove something, you know, we took out 2 of their creatures. And there are only 2 defenders that are currently on the board, so. Let's see. Niffle, do you have what you need? They can't block. You can't block. I know what you're thinking. If only I could block with one of these and then use my Ember Hauler, but you can't. They're gonna double block. It's fine by me. I literally just said my viewpoint on this, so that's huge benefit for us. I couldn't get down to Stonecoil for 1. In some cases, I think that would actually be worth it. I don't know if it is here. They're playing Jeskai. I mean, I saw the Triome, but I just thought it was a little weird. Scampering Scorcher. So they're only getting in 5 points of damage, right? I'm looking at 4/7 on the crackback. 9 on the crackback. Alright. Well, let's see. Let's see it. I guess it doesn't really matter what color we get there. So we mutate. Like I said, it's 10 damage. Alright, 2 health. I don't know if that was the right play, if maybe we should kept, you know, 1 additional back or both the Gutter Bones back and just swung in with the Gemrazer. Because even just swinging with the Gemrazer, we put them low enough that on the next turn we could swing in with everything and probably have it. So, I don't know. I'm debating that a little bit myself now because we just left ourselves very wide open. I tend to do this. in my decks, I've noticed. By the way, sorry for not speaking there for a little bit. I get so focused in on what I'm doing. Phoenix of Ash. Is that their only play? Yeah, 3 mana. They only have 1 left. So that is 5-7 damage. So if they have 1 point of damage, they can get us. Of course, I can block here. And we should block there. So it's back to 5. They need 3 points of damage with 1 spell. They have a shock. That's not it. We're left at 1. That's a GG. There we go. Boom. Nice. We're 4-1 with this Golgari Beatdown deck. Should I be playing this in ranked? Ladies and gentlemen, did I make a mistake? Duck on Quacks. I get it. Y'all get it? Duck on Quacks instead of cracks, whatever. Oh man, this is such a greedy keep. Of course we're keeping it. Of course we're keeping it. Alright, come on, Mr. or Mrs. Duck. Mr. or Mrs. Quacks, I guess. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. A Rakdos Avatar. I enjoy the Rakdos Avatar. Even though I think that the mouth could have been done a little bit differently. I can never tell if he's smiling or snickering or like what's going on with his face, basically. But you know, I don't have the world's largest monitor either. It's like a... So I don't know what size it is. It was bought many years ago. Well, I don't want to say that because I say many years ago and people get to thinking I'm like really old. I could see the facial hair does definitely add, you know, few 5 years, something like that. Alright, so come on our next turn, are we just getting down the Rotting Regisaur? Are we going straight Maniac mode? Because here's the thing, if we do get down Rotting Regisaur, we have the Gutter Bones to discard for free. So we're at least getting 1 turn free. If we can draw into a land and get the Batra down, I don't think it's the world's worst thing. Especially since our opponent just has a Stormfist, which is only going to help us. And we did, so yeah, I think we're going for the Rotting Regisaur here. Or we go Gutter Bones into the Ram Through. Keep our opponent's board state low. But the Stormfist is only drawing us cards, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. Yeah, I think I'm going Rotting here, honestly. Good old Rotting Regisaur. We are going to swing in with a Pelt Collector, even if they choose to block. Again, I think that's a fine proposition for us. They're thinking about it. They're like, is Pelt Collector worth my Stormfist given the fact that it ramps hard later? If they're playing a Menace deck, they may not find it to be so. Especially since I have a Rotting Regisaur on the board now, you know? Like, I already have big value. Yeah. So they take the block. With Rotting, we're going to discard the Gutter Bones. Then we have Dirge Bat, so we can at least give our dinosaur flying if we want. Or, no, not yet. We can just flash it in, sorry. Duck on Quacks, what do you got for me? Facing down a 7/6 on turn 3. That's such a scary thing, you know? We used to be like, oh no, Carnage Tyrant, 6 mana. And then of course, Carnage Tyrant, right, it has some effects. Can't be countered, has hexproof, all that great stuff. They're just submitting to it. They said, whatever. Rimrock Knight can't block, sure, go for it. Alright, so I can return this to my hand, play Ram Through, and still discard this next turn. Or I can just get down Dirge Bat. Either way, we can do all that at instant speed, so we might as well push it back to the opponent's turn, right? I want to keep the Starrix. Y'all know I'm a huge fan of Starrix. I'm a huge fan of pulling things out of my deck and just putting them down on the board. I started saying it and I realized like what it sounded like, and I wasn't very happy about it. Speaking about being very happy about it, I gotta find something to do with these lights, right? Because having this one constantly on is like killing my side vision. It's gonna give me a migraine, I tell you. I need to find a way to do some like natural lighting. Theater of Horrors. Ah, we should have done the gutter bones. No. All right. So we do this then. We did it a little bit wrong. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Do we block though? No, because that's 10 points of damage coming at their face that they can't block here. Ah, if only I had what's it called? That's fine. If only I had a way to give trample to something, you know? So they're down to 2. I will put the gutter bones back in my hand this time and be smart about it. I will play the Paradise Druid. Let's see what they got. They got 2 health. Duck on Quacks. Do you got what it takes? I gotta say, Dirge Bat it feels nice even just playing it down as a 4/4 or 4/4 as a 4 mana flash 3/3 flying creature. All right, Duck on Quacks picking up another victory. We're 5-1. 5-1. What? Do not to. I think that's how that's said. We will keep this hand. Because well, it's fucking lovely, right? If I can get to that Great Henge, I'd be very, very happy. If you could leave my Pelt Collector alone, I'd be very, very happy. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Alright, let's get in with the Pelt Collector. I'm worried about what they play here because if they have something like a Footlight Fiend, I actually can't play my... Okay, cool beans. I was gonna say I actually can't play my Hunted Nightmare, but just playing a Davriel means I can play my Hunted Nightmare. Or a Rotting Regisaur. I think I'd rather play the Hunted Nightmare though, right? Even though the Rotting Regisaur will take the Great Henge cost way down. We have the land we can discard, but they do have a Davriel, so it would require us to actually get in and kill that Davriel almost for sure, which would require us to throw in both of these 2 creatures, right? So if I go Hunted Nightmare, we're putting a Death Touch counter on the Priest. If I go Rotting, we're discarding the land and hoping, right? I'm all for hoping, so let's do it to it. But we have to get rid of the Davriel. Yes!
Our contract is voided.
Yes. Yeah, right? Right on. Sacrificed a priest for my, what's it called? Now, unfortunately, we are going to have to discard the Hunted Nightmare here because I want the Great Henge. I need that Great Henge. That feels really bad. Ah, fuck, I should have just... Yeah, I know. Alright, so are we just getting in with everything here? Yeah, because it's a Pestilent Spirit. So, like, whether it's the Pestilent Spirit that kills our Rotting Regisaur here, or it's the Shock next turn that kills us, I would rather get rid of the creature, you know, enabling that ability. And we'll get back. Okay. Or not. Thankfully, that card literally puts the same counters that it already has on it, so essentially doesn't do anything. All right. We could wait for some ram through. I guess that's an option as well. Not actually just throw our faces against the wall. Oh. Midnight Reaper coming down for our foe. And we're hitting the lands. Lands, and more lands. That's fine. You know, I'd rather draw them now while I'm healthy. I have plenty of health to give away. You know? Of course, we also have the Great Henge, so like, we're not even losing that much health. We just took 1 point of damage. I'm gonna leave the land in hand just in case they hit any card draw. any discard, right? But Kai's Ghostform is fantastic. Wow, it's like I'm psychic, like I'm right there with him. Alright, so now we're starting to take a little bit of damage. Okay. Alrighty. I'm getting punished for just throwing my creatures away. I see what my mistake was. Cue all the cards that would have been great on all your stuff. Alright, so if we lose here, it's definitely my fault. Auspicious Starrix. We can't even mutate onto it, but that's fine. Maybe we can draw into something. Like a Gemrazer. That'd be kind of beautiful. No? Alright. We do still have the Ram Through though, and the Kai's Ghostform, both of which I do want to get down on the Starrix. So, first things first, Kai's Ghostform. Okay, first things first, Auspicious Starrix. Get the Ram Through, baby! Yeah, you thought. It's all about ordering. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about ordering. So they were thinking the Fire Prophecy was going to kill my Auspicious Starrix there because they had the Pestilent Spirit, and that's why you got to play the Kai's Ghostform first to bait out something like that, and then you use your removal to sweep them the fuck up. Yeah, you love it when your opponent falls for the bait. You love it, you love it. Alright, so there's Spark Harvesting to get rid of the Starrix, but it will come back. Baby, come back. And it draws us another card, and it's the Starrix, which we can mutate onto the original Starrix. Oh, you couldn't ask for a better time. Now, we could also just mutate it onto a Hexproof creature, right? But that's no fun. I want some Starrix on Starrix action. That sounds so wrong. Dirge Bat. And a land. So we can actually flash this in if we want to, if we want to wait on it. Or we just mutate it onto the Starrixes. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to go for. We'll get in on another Paradise Druid, draw out another land, I guess. I'm not swinging in with the Starrix. Oh man, this deck feels so good. You have the Beatdown, you have the Mutate, you have the gas with the Starrix and the Great Henge come later. Oh, baby, 2 Dirge Bats in one hand. You're really treating me, game. You're really treating me. Let's get one of you out of the way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. You out the way. You out the way. The Midnight Reaper's only helping us, so that's okay. Alrighty, so we'll get those 3 cards down. Cool, good game. Golgari, Mutate, Beatdown. What? This is crazy. 6-1 with it. I think we can leave the deck at that, right? This deck is actually crazy. We're definitely gonna be taking this into ranked. This is fantastic. Alrighty, so you made it all the way through the matches. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you. Also, I feel like I'm a little close to the microphone. Anyways, thank you for watching all the way through. Please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section if you have any suggestions on this video, future videos, past videos, how I do the videos, anything along those lines. Subscribe if you want to see more, and of course hit that bell icon that pops out after you hit on the subscribe button, and then it'll give you updates whenever I post and notifications and all that good stuff. Anyways, if you're looking to catch us play these decks live, be sure to hop over to twitch.tv/DrSpillikin and toss a follow, as I try to go live, well, really spontaneously. No, I try to go live like when I can, when I have a decent opportunity to stream at least 2 hours, you know, hour and a half, something like that, something sizable. And then last but not least, if you're looking for a Discord community to join up with, I can't say it enough, ladies and gentlemen, down in the description of every video, there's a link. I recommend you click it, go over there, and you know, join up with us, have a fun time. Anyways, on into the deck. Golgari Beatdown. What are we featuring in this sideboard deck tech wrap up, given that the deck performed so so beautifully, you know. What do you want to improve about the deck? What can you improve about the deck, and what would you potentially sideboard? So first things first, if you want to take the deck into a more trample-y themed deck, which I think it can certainly do with Rotting Regisaur and Hunter Nightmare and yada yada yada. Cetacean Training, it's great. It's 2 mana. It adds extra attack power, gives you trample, and it draws you a card, so it essentially cycles itself. It's good, you know. You throw this on your Rotting Regisaur, it's now an 8/6, and whenever you go to use Ram Through on it, it's now dealing extra damage. It now has trample, so you don't have to worry about it getting chum blocked. Yeah, you know, it'd be hard to convince me not to at least try this out in the deck, you know, once or twice. Seems okay. Along those same lines, we have Fully Grown. It's a 3 mana instant speed. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Put a trample counter on it. So what's really nice about this is the Rotting Regisaur already has 7 points of damage. So if you're putting +3/+3, you're literally taking your opponent down half of their health. So the explosive power is it's certainly there. It's just, I guess, a matter of, do you value the cost of this card that much? Anyways, a great sideboard card if you are going to take this deck into best of 3 is Wilt. It's an instant speed 2 mana card that allows you to destroy target artifact or enchantment, and it has 2 mana cycling, so even if it busts, it's able to be cycled, right? So I almost even would put this in a best of 1 deck, right? Anyways, moving us down, if you're looking for some more removal, looking to kind of ditch the Mutate a little bit, or the Dirge Bat, whatever you want to call it, Assassin's Trophy, it's great, right? You get to destroy target permanent and opponent controls, so it can be lands, planeswalkers, whatever the hell you want it to be. And then the opponent gets to search their library for basic land, so obviously you don't want to be playing this up against the ramp decks, but everything else, it's fair game, as I say. Destroy it all. Next up, we have Call the Death Dweller. I've been back and forth on this card. I don't know. So for 3 mana, you can return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them, then put a Menace counter on either of them as well. Now, the nice thing is, it gets your Rotting Regisaur back immediately. It puts Menace on your Rotting Regisaur, and if that wasn't enough, you get the nice little caveat of Death Touch, right? So Rotting Regisaur gets to come back with a whole lot on it, and it's really kind of nice. The flip side of this is Hunted Nightmare's downside is the fact that when it enters the battlefield, so if you were to bring it back, target opponent gets to put a Death Touch counter on a creature they control, and generally they'll put it on a weaker creature and then, you know, double block, whatever. But the kind of nice thing is, again, you're giving this creature Death Touch. You know, it already has Menace, but giving something Death Touch is always a notable thing, right? So, Call the Death Dweller, I go back and forth on it. It would allow you to get your Pelt Collectors back, your Paradise Druids, but, like, that's about it. So, whatever. Murderous Rider, we kind of talked about, right, with the Assassin's Trophy if you're looking for more removal, but you still want a creature body, right? Maybe you just don't want Dirge Bat. Maybe you think Dirge Bat is too expensive. Maybe you don't truly value it, which I think you're crazy if you don't. Murderous Rider is fantastic as well. Kind of similar effect. Still allows you to destroy target creature or planeswalker. However, it comes down with lifelink, and, you know, it's a solid little body. 2/3 isn't terrible. Fully Grown, we talked about. If you're looking to dive more into the Mutate, I mean, you know, there's the Essence Symbiote and things of that nature, but I really recommend Insatiable Hemorrhage. Can't say that enough. And honestly, I probably wouldn't push Mutate too hard here. I feel like the numbers that you're rocking right now are very close to being what you want. Anyways, if you're looking for more of that beatdown style and you're like, screw Mutate, I don't really care, I don't like it, whatever. There's Rankle, Master of Pranks, which slots in great to where Dirge Bat would be, right? Flash flying, and granted, Rankle doesn't have flash, it has flying haste, so I won't say a similar effect because flash and haste are not similar, but they can produce similar results in the fact that they both allow you to attack in with this creature after a short delay, right? Without really having too much risk of it getting removed. Staying on that similar note, you know, Spawn of Mayhem is another 4-drop, has a spectacle cost of 3. getting a 4/4 flying trampler down for 3 mana is insane, not to mention the fact that it's going to be dealing continual damage to your opponent's face, which is, you know, nice for you because you're a beatdown deck, so you're okay with it. So Spawn of Mayhem, Spawn of Mayhem, Rankle, they're great if you're trying to go away from Mutate but keep the Golgari Beatdown feeling. And then Cavalier Knight, again, it's one of those things where it's like it's removal, but you're getting something out of it. You're getting a 4/5 with lifelink that you can also mutate onto. You're getting to remove something, and whenever it dies, you get to bring back one of your Rotting Regisaurs, one of your Hunted Nightmares. So, you know, for 5 mana, it's it's like really hard to beat the value of Cavalier Knight. And sometimes we go through these sideboards or these deck tech wrap ups, and I'm like, man, I kind of wish I had known about that. Cavalier of Night, one of those cards that I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have minded having the forethought to put this in my deck, maybe even only as a one of, right? But it seems really, really good for what it is. Moving us down, we have one coffee. I'm telling y'all, it's late. It's real late. We have Vivian, Monsters Advocate. You have 27 creatures in the deck, so it's not like you don't have the proper numbers, right? You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature cards. I don't think Vivian plays fantastic here, just to be honest, you know. But one of the nice things is if you go to play your Dirge Bat or your Gemrazer or whatever, and you have the Vivian, you can -2 and then hit a Rotting Regisaur off of whatever you just played. So I guess that's kind of nice, but I mostly threw her in here because I know some people will be like, oh, you should throw her in, and well, this is why I don't. Speaking of Vivian, though, there is one that I can't believe that I left off the list. I had remembered her the first time that I made this, but I guess not the second time. Vivian Arcbow Ranger, Planeswalker we missed, but certainly if you have copies, even if it's only one, goes into this deck. Distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among up to 2 target creatures. They gain trample until end of turn, so this gives your Rotting Regisaur that trample that you were looking for on the ram through, and just in general. Furthermore, you can -3 target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. It's removal, and then, you know, the -5 is whatever you get to dive into your sideboard. So yeah, I actually like 4 mana Vivian better than 5 mana Vivian in this situation. And then last but not least, we have Garrett Cursed Huntsman, 6 mana, 5/5 loyalty. Sorry, just 5 loyalty. Creates 2 2/2s. I knew there was a bit of confusing text somewhere on there. They're black-green wolf creature tokens, and they have the ability of whenever this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garrett you control, which, side note, that'll be nice for M21. But back to reality, for -3, you can destroy target creature, draw a card. It's good at tempo. It is a little costly to get down Garrett, you know, it's 6 mana. But if you can get the emblem, hallelujah, right? You get an emblem with creatures you control, get +3/+3, and have trample. So, you know, obviously that's sort of a game-winning thing. And again, it plays back into the whole trample thing. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, another long deck tech wrap-up, whatever. I really want to explain the cards, you know, that I'm offering to y'all here and why I think that they're viable routes and why you might want to try them out. Anyways, thanks once again, everybody, for watching. If you enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like down below. I try to put, you know, as much time into these videos as I can as far as culminating the information and the delivery and yada yada yada. I'll quit tooting my own horn. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Everybody have a great day, have a great night, have a great afternoon, whatever time it may be, wherever you are. As always, I will see y'all either later tonight or tomorrow. Peace.